Okay, Capricorn, hello. This is your part 2 of the 2015 yearly forecast. So let's take a look at the next set of cards. The next set of cards is the Magician, which is modified by the Hangman and the Star. And so, leading up to this point, you've seen a lot of different changes going on in your life. You're going to be clearing that your karmic balance and getting kind of a lift out of that circumstance. In the undercurrent, there may be some dichotomies between the good and the dark, and so you will be faced to make some decisions that are going to have far-reaching implications. In the past, you've been blessed by the world and things associated with the Empress, so yourself as a woman, your mother, or your partner, if she is a woman or exemplifies Empress qualities, were really important, as well as self-study and self-direction. So you've made all these choices, you've been through this journey, and let's take a look at what's happening now. Moving forward, you're going to feel very powered and empowered to make life as you see it. And so you are no longer a lamb, you are no longer no longer subjugating yourself to that what is required of you. You're really stepping out as a creator. You're taking full responsibility out of this. And it's going to be on you a lot as to how you direct your energy and how you manifest that energy, because it's going to be observed and it's going to be scrutinized as you have fraternity in your community outside of yourself, really kind of getting in close as to what's going on for you. So make sure that with this card comes great power, but it also comes with a lot of responsibility and a lot of there will be a lot of scrutiny, as I said, and so make sure that you are taking this energy very with a lot of respect and really a lot of consideration, because it can really shift your focus and shift your situation far away from where you've been. So you just tread softly, I guess, is the advice. A lot of what's going to be going on is that maybe you've already achieved. I get the sense that maybe you have achieved already some aspect of where you need to be, and so you're kind of at a pause. And by a pause I mean is that you are where you need to be, and so now you need things to kind of catch up to you, which can be frustrating, especially when you're experiencing this kind of magician. So the magician is telling you that you have all this energy to create, yet life is holding you in place. And so a way to circumnavigate that is to really bless the people around you. So if you can't use the energy that you have, that you're working through directly on your own personal interests, such as business interests, situational interests, whatever is in like relationships that you're interested in, then maybe try to be an angel for others this year, and then create a positivity for other people in their life as you are yourself kind of stuck in your circumstances. You're waiting things out. So maybe you have some things at your disposal, some resources at your disposal that you would be able to take advantage of, and that you would be able to direct towards other people's situations, because you can't use them. So why lose them? Why waste it? The other aspect of this card is finding yourself in perfect balance with what's going on, and in perfect balance with where things are going. So you have Aquarius, which is the star. The star is also talking about soulmates, although in this reading I'm guessing that what you're facing is not necessarily just soulmates. I think you're destined to be where you are at this time. This is probably the section we talked about in part 1 is probably the most important part of the reading, because it really is the warning, and it really is the thing that you need to really watch out for, and kind of the responsibility piece that's on your shoulders from now on. And that being that you have cleared your karmic inequalities, and you have achieved a level of balance. What's been unfair to you has been made right. And now moving forward, you have this new beginning, which is the Fool here. But it's modified by these two cards, the Hierophant and the Devil. And so, though it's like having the angel and the devil on your shoulder, but the implication of this is much more than just an angel and a devil whispering things in your ear. This is the fundamental choices that you make now will be the springboard for your future experiences. And so more so now than ever, the impact of your choices is extensive. And so I advise you to make choices that are true and honest and with God's plan. If you're not religious or if you don't believe in God, with the universal plan or whatever higher order or truthful order that you can associate with. If you're an atheist, that's okay. Philosophical truth or philosophical, honesty is really the important aspect of this card, not necessarily just following a predestined plan that Christians would believe or other religions would believe in. So it's really these readings can be modified, although the trumps are built off the Torah, which is the four first books of the Bible, which is both in Judaism and Christianity. The lessons are really impactful and far-reaching, and so in essence the lessons are things that we take on, that we can grow from and learn from. And so this lesson that you're approaching with the Magician, you have to realize that you're not greater than God, you're not greater than nature, you're not greater than the universe, and you have to know your place in it. And that's the challenge of the Magician card, is to have the power, in essence, have an aspect of power of creation, but yet still have to be humble enough. And so you can get drunk with power. You can get really what's the word? It escaped me. Sorry. You can get really tantalized with power or drunk on power, like I said, and that can really dissuade any humility that you can work through. And trust me, humility is the best process through which to work at all times, because then that itself helps you from having, all sorts of different spiritual illnesses, mental illnesses. I'm not a doctor, but I think that truth and humility are really good steps towards leading a peaceful life. In fact, this is really talking about a peaceful life. Some of it may be frustrating. You may be finding yourself in a place where you want to get away from, or you want to move on from, and it's kind of holding you there. Circumstances are holding you there. But overall, the oncoming future, the near future of your circumstance is very peaceful, very tranquil, and you find that yourself in the right place at the right time, and the doors are kind of open for you. The kind of challenge of that is that you can't take full advantage of everything that's going on. It's like being a recording artist and getting a job at a recording studio, but you're just the receptionist. It's that kind of thing. It's fine, you're happy, you're kind of on your way there, but you're not fully. It's just going to take time before someone hears your beautiful voice singing, right? So let's move forward and take a look at a challenge. And this is a significant challenge for you, because right at the position that kind of depicts you in the situation, we have the Tower. Now, in your position, and given all the cards as they are laid out, remember the Tower comes up in every single reading. We're reading all 22 trumps. The Tower is signifying that you have a fundamental shift in your personality as a result of the events that happen around you and to you this year. And so anything of the past that was dishonest, not congruent to an ethical life, not in line with efficacy, not in line with subtle living, with good living, that's going to be challenged, and it's going to be brought down time and again, and you'll find yourself not really able to stretch things much further than that. So kind of living the life of a monk or of a nun this year is really advisable, really stripping down and being honest and enjoying the fruits of life in your community and enjoying the peace that you've achieved after probably some time of struggle. The emancipation has been achieved in the past, and now you can move forward, but you have to do that really honestly. And I think that that's going to require you to make fundamental shifts in how you approach things. Also, you want to be really gentle with people, because if you have the Tower as your position, fundamental shifts in you, it may take some time for you to realize how you are changing. So, for example, if you are when you have this aspect for yourself, and let's say you make jokes that are sarcastic or ironic, and you try to relate a joke like that with your intonation to a friend, or worse, maybe someone who doesn't know you as an acquaintance. And so you throw the intonation in there, and the shock and horror fill their face as you've offended them. So this is the kind of circumstance that can happen in this Tower. So because you haven't really learned how you are perceived yet, and you haven't learned how people are seeing you through the new lenses that you are projecting. So really take it gentle and take it slow and learn about this newness. There may be some real upsets for you this year, and not upsets in a negative way, but just upsets of the status quo. And so in particularly how you behave and who you are to other people. You may really find some conclusions and some awareness as to who you are as a person and where to go on from here. I think this could be emancipating you from a lot of previous socialization and a lot of previous experiences that you have kind of fallen into. And so moving forward, you may be quite free. And I think with this Tower, it could be quite challenging aspect if it wasn't for your social environment. So I know we talked about your social sphere here. This is kind of the outward manifestation, but this is really talking about, just as in the Celtic cross, your friends and family. So we're bringing it in closer a little bit. And the Cancer, which is what this card represents, the Chariot, is representing a great support and understanding from people around you. So expect people around you to really get what you're doing, get what's going on, sometimes even get who you are before you know what's going on. So there might be some confusion about who you are or what's going on for you. Expect your friends and family to really kind of step it up and bring you up and make things right. There'll be people who have your back, who explain the circumstances that you get involved in this year, and that make peace for you on your behalf. People will also be offering you solutions that will make you stronger this year. And so these solutions are going to be coming through your friends and family section. And that means that there's going to be opportunities to cut ties with things of the past like never before. And cutting ties not in the sense of transition like the Death card, but much more so as in chasing after something better in the midst of being involved in something else. So just really transitioning upward without that transition to have to end with one thing and then lead into the other, find something else. This is the card of opportunities, and it is coming for you through your friends and family section. Okay, so this is the next couple positions are really key and are summarizing the entire reading, and then we'll do a summary of each of the 4 quarters. Now I'm running out of time for this video, so you'll see me moving up a little bit quickly, but I think that the detail going through the cross was actually really helpful and more important than what's going on. Although these two, everything's important, never mind. The point of this is that this is the big lesson card, and this is where I drew a lot of the conclusions regarding the requirement of you to be respectful and of you to be really humble towards life and towards the opportunity and gift you have been given this year. The gift that you were given was that of emancipation, and so that's moving forward from a place of disunity, disequality, and unfairness to a place of fairness. And so now it's your turn to reciprocate appropriately, and so this is the big lesson you realize. And this is the shock also. This card is card of shock, right? So it's also the shock that you're realizing that some of those things that you thought would never pass you by. Let's say, for example, let's bring it to a non-situational thing, a physical thing. And I'm not saying you guys are having that. This is just an example. Let's say you have a backache for 10 years, which I do. I was working in my early 20s, late teens, in a hotel in a snowboarding town, and I was flipping king-size mattresses by myself because I was an idiot. And I pulled my back, and I didn't think of it at the time, but I started experiencing a knot in my back, in my lower back. And since then, I have been doing about 10 years of yoga, a variety of different things, yet that knot still persists. Imagine one day waking up if that knot is gone out of my back. And so this is the kind of circumstance where obstacles that you thought would be always persistent in your life, particularly out of the choices that you've made in the past or the interactions that you had, just as me choosing to flip those mattresses, those obstacles are suddenly alleviated, and all of a sudden you can move forward. So whether it's a back or whether it's a person, whether it's a situation or a bad grade, allow this year to really wash you clean of all that stuff, and make sure not to just jump right back into the mud and move forward, because moving forward for you will be amazing this year. The outcome card, this is the big picture, this is it card, is the Wheel of Fortune, which means essentially you're freed and you're continually being emancipated, you're continually being allowed to move forward in positions that other people may have not been able to in the past. So, and also the blessings come for you through your community, but most importantly through your close family and friends. And so there's going to be shifts of luck, changes of fortune, prosperity coming at you. And even in moments when you feel a lull, because there is going to be the Hanged Man coming up for you in the near future, you will ultimately be emancipated, but you won't be able to sit there and be like, okay, well, this is stagnant, so now something will happen. It's going to be kind of at those moments when you least expect it. So expect the outcome to be extreme prosperity, changes of luck, upsets of character, and upsets of changes of life. But when I say upset, not in a negative way, I mean an emancipation into a, I can't do this. This is not working for me. This is how I'm perceived. So now I can do better. So it's all very constructive, all very positive. And this is how the Tower is actually not a shadow card, as people say. It's essentially an aspect of an experience that a person has. And so essentially can be quite positive. Just as a card that would traditionally be read could be read in a positive or negative way. Let's see the Emperor, right? Traditionally it's read in quite a positive way. It can actually have the equal amount of negativity to it, given the right context of cards and the right situation. So when you guys are looking in your readings, if you're a beginner or intermediate reader and you're looking for positivity or negativity, I know this is a sidebar, and I'll do a video about it one day, but if you're looking for positivity and negativity in your cards, and you're saying this card is negative, this card is positive, let me challenge you and suggest to you that you look in the cards for both experiences all the time, and kind of get yourself away from positive and negative thinking, and just think about life as this is what it is kind of way. So sorry about the tangent. I hope that it helps those of you who are reading cards and who want some kind of perspective on it, and I really hope to do more about reading cards in general. So instructional videos or maybe even courses. I've been asked to do courses, but it obviously takes a lot of time to produce. So okay, so this card represents spring, which is the kind of the first quarter of the year. Imagine the first quarter of the year to be quite fun and carefree. The sun is in your corner. You may have some romances. You may be in touch with your family, particularly young siblings. Your children, particularly young children, may be quite a uplift for you at this time. Just expect the sun to shine down on you in the first quarter and really make you feel happy and elated. I think that happiness comes from the freedom that you're about to experience and that you're already experiencing now as a result of the breaking away of the things that were binding you. The next card down is the Summer card, which is the growth and blossom card. And so this is how this experience manifests. I think that in the summertime and leading into the summer, you will start experiencing really far-reaching conclusions in the form of epiphanies. And so those epiphanies are going to shine a light on your experience, and you're going to feel really connected to the world above you and really lit up still by the sun and really modified and feeling like empowered and feeling like there's a life purpose to you, and that there is mysteries about that emancipate you, that change you. And I'm thinking that in the summertime, this is where the majority of these fundamental shifts will happen. Those shifts will continue into the fall, and this is the Yang card. It represents your how you manifest the energy of the summer. So this is the blossoming, and this is the manifestation. And so we're looking, these cards are very connected, the High Priestess and the Moon. And the Moon is talking much more about the shadow, about the dark side of things. So you get really happy, and then in that process, the honeymoon is kind of period is over, and you start looking at the totality of experience. And you're elevated even more with an understanding of who you are in the world and what is most important and where is important to focus and develop your skills even further. So the last card up is the Winter card, and it's the Yin energy, which is the coming back in and the decay and the end of circumstances and the things that come onto us, the receptacle. And so the receptacle is that the fundamental change. Probably at about December last year, you will take on this kind of fundamental change, looking back on the year, on all the experiences that you're having. Your heart will have been touched by the people around you. You yourself will experience outbursts of energy and power, and then fundamental shifts in your personality and your disposition, your thoughts about things. Like, for example, if you don't support gay marriage at the beginning of the year, you could very well be very supportive of gay marriage by the end of the year. These are the kind of fundamental shifts, or abortion issues, or whatever issues that you have a strong take on, experience a massive transformation in your approach. And that really comes with observation, and that's about to set on to your life, Capricorn, in the next couple months here. So I think that you'll be tantalized to change your ways, and I think that that's the underpinning current of what's going on. And I think that you've been blessed, and that blessing is making you humble and filled with gratitude for the opportunity of having another chance at life. And so that new chance at life is emancipating you in new directions. You may not be able to go where you want to fully go yet, but it is going to come by later on in the year. This year is much more about observation and much more about getting in touch with who you are as a person and fundamentally changing who you are at the core, which is so hard for Capricorn because you guys are so thorough, and so changing that is quite a challenge for you guys. So I hope you guys have a great 2015. Make sure to like my videos and leave me a comment below. Thanks to Johnny for pushing Capricorn's way up in the readings. I wasn't going to do them right away, but she said yes, so I fell in line. And thank you guys for watching. You guys are one of my biggest supporters in terms of signs. Make sure to watch signs for your other aspects in your astro chart. If you're confused about astro chart aspects, you can get a reading from me, and I can tell you which stelliums you have, what aspects are really important to watch, and what videos would resonate best for you this year. Okay, thanks very much, and take care. Happy 2015.